I thought this would be a great opportunity to do a quick review, or not necessarily quick, but a review of um, Brunellian's Cretacolor. And these are just large, they call them art chunky colored charcoal sticks. And they're just huge sticks. Usually come like this, open them up, and this is what you got. Now, the cool thing that I like about these, I'm going to say it right away, is that unlike the PanPastels, what I normally use, this has kind of a waxy finish. So as you can imagine, if you put this on the bottom, put the charcoal over the top, which is how I normally work, that when you go in to use your charcoal pencils, it's really hard. It just kind of scrapes it away. It does present a challenge. And then I remembered I had ordered these guys here, and I thought to myself, I'm going to give it a shot. They don't feel waxy. They come off on your finger like a normal charcoal does. And I thought, let me give it a shot. So I did. I started off on some small pieces like this here. And I just did different colors and I smeared them in and brushed them in. And I was like, it was exactly what I wanted. Then I drew over the top and it's just like drawing into my normal charcoal. And I was like, wow, this is it. This is so cool. So um, these went really, really well. I'm doing this so I can spray and I'm working on that fixative so I don't have to use glass or any kind of panel or you know what I mean over the top of my actual pieces itself. So if I anyhow, that's what I did here. But where it's led me to is this big one. I decided to just go for it, and that's what you see here. Nice, the color is beautiful. I used this one to scrub into, this to get my shapes when I get going on it, right? And sometimes I'll use a big brush like this. It's a 1.5 inch super soft brush. So I went after this. Now, what you're going to see afterwards is I don't know if I'll time lapse it or if I'm just going to leave it in as a standard process. But I actually filmed the process of me creating this, and I'm going to voice it over because I was in the middle of an art jam and I didn't um, I didn't voice it over as I was working on it. So I'm going to voice it over in front of the computer, but I show the process and how I got not necessarily to the drawing part, but to the outer part in this. And I got to say, I'm loving it. I mean, have you ever seen me do this kind of color? It's amazing. So come on, let's go. So I'm not going to voice over the whole thing. I'm going to let um, the music and you relax a little bit as you see the process. But I didn't speed this up at all. I just left it in real time. But what I'm doing is using the side of the large charcoal stick, and then I'm using a bristle brush, something that's not too soft, but I'm scrubbing the charcoal in the paper. And when I say scrubbing, I'm not really scrubbing. I'm just gently pushing the charcoal around into some of the fibers enough where I can actually still paint into it and remove the charcoal if I chose to. But I'm just doing nice, gentle things, and I'm allowing the paper texture to come through. I'm okay with that. I like that the charcoal's kind of finding the paper texture, and I don't need it to be absolutely perfectly smooth. I just need it. I want to have some of that texture. So enjoy the music and enjoy the process. I'll be back in just a few.
Now I'm using my powder charcoal, and I use, I mix a gold pigment powder into my charcoal just to give it a little extra magic, if you will. And I'm just using a super soft brush. I think it's a 1.5, and I'm just pushing the charcoal around, and I'm looking for shapes. I'm covering area at this point, and just kind of just freely moving it around. And I like this section because you can just see all these shapes kind of popping out and moving forward. At this point, what I've done is I'm grabbing a little wedge brush. It's a super soft wedge brush, and I'm just pushing again, looking for creating smaller shapes at this point. And I'm not looking for anything specific. I'm not even trying to see anything at this point. I'm just experimenting. I'm just pushing things around and trying to create shape, as much shape as I can. Because it's an abstract, and what I'm going to do is once it's done, I'm going to let it sit, and I'm going to try to find whoever wants to talk to me, if you will, whatever wants to come forth in the actual abstract, in the shapes, and then I'm just going to follow it. I never know what it's going to be. I have no idea what this is going to be. And I think that for me, that's the magic of this process, is I never know. I get excited. Like, I'm excited about the color around the outside edge. I've never really done it quite like this, where it's huge, and it's a pretty big piece, where it's lots of color around the outside edge, and then it's black and white in the center. So I'm really excited about the potential for this piece itself. Look at, there's just so many things that you can see in there.